I have the pleasure to introduce Jim Crawshaw, How to Brand Plastics with Confidence. I'm showing my real rotomoulding roots. When only a couple of weeks ago I actually met up with Jim. I was really resisting putting some large graphics in one of our products that a customer was looking for. Jim came along, gave us a hand, and now we've got no problem. We're going to be able to provide the customer what they need. So during their time as rotomoulders, PSI brand developed a durable branding solution for plastic products, primarily for this market sector, but has also developed to suit injection, thermoformed and blow moulded parts. Improving the value of your plastic products is their passion. So thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Trudy, much appreciated. And thank you everyone for your attention. Once had one of my school classmates tell me that, asked me what you want to do when you grow up, and I said, I don't know, builder or something. And he said, oh, I reckon you should be a clown. So, I don't know, see what happens. But we did promise it was going to be action-packed, so I do intend to show you a little bit of action. So today I want to present how to brand plastics with confidence. I know there's a good lack of confidence out there on how do we do it, because we all know that nothing sticks to plastic, and that's kind of why we are where we are. So I've been probably in branding for plastics about half my life. So I started when I was about 18. And as we had in the brief clip before, Steve, my father, was a rotomoulder, and he could see that branding was important years ago in the 80s. So I want to show what poor branding looks like, demonstrate how to brand with confidence in the 15 minutes that I've got, and also just show a clear path of branding, which you can all hopefully implement. So PSI brand. PSI, we're all about brand. It's in our name, it's in our blood. As I said, Dad started out as a rotomoulder in his 30s in his garage making little rocking horses, went on to create a business called Stallion Plastics in Palms North that make agricultural feeders, calf feeders, pig feeders. You may have heard of them before. So he made these blue feeders, and he wasn't happy with the methods that were out there, hot stamping, stickers, various other measures which had special storage life, needed spray adhesives, and he thought the Kiwi mentality is there's got to be another way to do this. So for good or for worse, here we are today. So we add value to great parts, basically making them exceptional through in-mould and post-mould graphics. I'm going to touch on that briefly in a moment. And barcode and RFID systems. So RFID is a relatively new product which has essentially an antennae and an RFID chip where you can read and write to your product. And then a permanent paint finish, which I'll also mention to a few today. It's also shown on this little piece here. A permanent paint finish and surface enhancers, but really our key is short runs delivered within literally anywhere within 10 days globally. So we're a very nimble operation. While we can cater for large runs, small is also how we started. But a little less of the sales pitch, guys. Why is brand important? I like one of Virgin's favourite quotes there, is a brand is a voice. It's a product as a souvenir. So you can take something away, but essentially if it's got nothing on it, well, what's the good of it? What's it telling you? It really wraps up the customer experience. So what are you? What does your brand represent? Is that represented in your brand, in your logo? It's the consistency of everything you do. So imagine if Coca-Cola sent out red cans tomorrow all over the world and said, drink this. How much of us would trust it, or would we just think it's some cowboy in his backyard had sent something out? So they know these guys are great guys at branding. We have, imagine a purple race car going around the track doing stuff. You just think it's another Formula One driver, but when it's got Red Bull on it, you've got your eyes on that guy because you know he's going to be crazy, you know he's going to be extreme. So that is brand. It wraps up what you do. It provides pop in an otherwise crowded market. So you can have a white globe like this down there, or you could have something with your brand on it. Courtesy of Keel Plastics, thank you very much, moulded this bin for us years ago. So Nestle know about branding. Adds strength to your promise and sets you apart. So mediocrity is not an option. You want to be seen, you want to be heard. It is getting an ever more crowded marketplace. Here's an opportunity to pop. So no brand is a potential for missed sales. I had an awesome example of branding before from KK Kingston. Keith was telling me that they give out soccer balls with tougher on it. Was it? Something like that. In the islands there. Just another cool example of marketing, spreading their brand that can be kicked around the street. So I'll rewind half a second, how to brand with confidence. I want to talk about why I'm picking this topic. It's actually because of a customer that's here in the room. ARM up in Silverdale, Auckland. I visited them possibly a year ago and showed them our graphic process. And Regan there said, why don't you take what you've shown us to an expo and share it with everyone else? So here I am, for better or for worse. Thank you, Jason. What poor brand looks like. So here's some examples of poor branding. Something that peels. As we know, nothing sticks to plastic. You've got a sticker, they get graunched, they get scraped. They fade, they peel. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because negativity isn't great. But the cost of lost reputation is really unfathomable. You cannot stand for it. And there's the assumption as well that poor brand is poor craftsmanship. And moulders go out there, they spend that time to make a beautiful part, only to end up with something looking shabby down the track, is not a good representation of their craftsmanship. So I just want to show some examples here of some where brand has been used with confidence. So in the marine and whitewater industry, so handles the whitewater, the salt water, the rocks, whatever can be thrown at it. Commercial and industrial. So we have here an example of mowers. These guys created a cool part. It's a cool story actually, Swish Mowers. They're a USA company. Developed all these cool guards to make it look swept up, but they very soon had their decals peeling off. And yeah, thankfully they turned to the moulder who consequently knew us and we were able to help. Agriculture is another field where you see some good branding used, street and cityscape. Also some neat examples of where brand is being used with confidence. And now I've got some examples here of sport and fitness. One of them on the closest here is Surfset Fitness. They are it's like a new fitness program that's been sweeping throughout USA, and we were able to help them with a small prototype run, and now they are consistently producing a cool product that's branded and promoting themselves globally. The other one here I'm showing is stadium seating, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but this is actually injection molded HDPE. So these guys, we've been working with them. They're called Hussey Seating Company, and they have been a customer of us since 2013. They were essentially wanting to decorate their seating inside school gymnasiums, colleges throughout USA. The sport over there is massive, and what they're competing with is an emblem in the middle of the floor. So I started out using vinyl, very quickly found that frustrated spectators were peeling them off, and so what you're seeing there is a post-mold graphic spread out over a number of seats. Each one of those graphics is roughly 400 by 200. And it's also utilising digital process. So there's only one of each one of those graphics, if you like. We're not printing like thousands of each one. So again, a company that has, I guess, used technology to push their brand. They are now, I would say, the #1 leader in college sports seating. How to brand with confidence, InMould after 20 years. Now these photos aren't great. In fact, both of the products and brands have outlived the brand as such. Muaid on the far side there is actually a plastic chemicals box used for fixing up Daisy's hoofs in the cow shed. And the other one's like a sprayer on the back of a four-wheeler. Both of those products, like I say, the brand is not there anymore, but the product with the branding is still alive. So that's 20 years after first being installed. So now I just want to show you a couple of versions of branding and how it's used. You would have all received a funky backpack, which Armour kindly arranged for us as sponsors. And in that is a sample of which you can all take back to your factories and try. So this is an InMould graphic, and you can scan the QR code in the middle, and it tells you or shows you a video of exactly how it works. So this is the InMould system, what we call our InMould system. And what I have here is like a piece of aluminium mould. Okay, it's just the face of a mould. And here is a graphic, and this is a self-adhesive graphic, which I'm just peeling it off the anti-stick paper. And many of you may have already been using these type of graphics, but essentially this is how you apply it. You stick it to the mould like this here, then you're just using a squeegee like this here that any sign writer would use. You're squeezing out the air bubbles, and that is it. That is literally how simple it is. You let it run through the process of InMould, of moulding, and that will come out moulded into your product like on these little cubes that we've got on our stand. I know that all sounds very simple, but realistically, everything in production is different. You have water tanks, you have little stuff like this, which is why we have a range of different adhesives and different constructions to suit the rotomoulding industry. Right, the second bit is the fun bit. This is where I had to get permission to use this flamethrower. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. So I didn't know how this was going to work really, because it was only on Friday I was chatting to the team saying, well, I'm going to do a post-mould demo, and they said, well, how are you going to take a gas torch over there? Hadn't really thought about it, so thanks for that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flame the surface of this part, and I referred to KK Kingston before. They're using this process in Papua New Guinea just to brand their products. So I'm going to flame the surface here, oxidise it, apply the post-mould graphic, and just show you, what it ends up looking like. So I'm just flaming it here. I see it's just glossing slightly. At this point, I don't want to drop the torch. I want to turn it off. And then I'm just putting the graphic on. Hopefully it's square, like this here. Then I'm using my little tool somewhere. I think it's in one of these pockets. There we go. So it looks like a dog biscuit. But you're just rubbing over the surface like this here. It's good to get a nice firm surface. If you've got a large part, well, that's the point where the gas torch falls onto the floor and everything goes up. It is turned off. So that's it transferred onto the plastic. I then just follow through with one more flaming process, and that's just to embed in the graphic, make sure everything is moulded on properly. So this process here is used a lot by tank manufacturers that don't want to risk the potential chance of a graphic falling in because of erosion, or because of old mate on the tools is not feeling so awake today because he was up late last night, and they waste 200 kgs of material. So that in essence is a couple of branding alternatives, of which we both presented in this case study here, which Trudy mentioned earlier. So Zeddy approached us. They had this cool product. This is a smart feeder, what they call a smart feeder. It's got solar panels on the top, but essentially in each corner of this product is a feeding station. The cows go up to It reads a tag on their ear and it tells them if they can have any more to eat or if they've had their allotted amount for the day. Anyway, they had a problem. The cows were taking a great interest in the brand on the side. Consequently, they were licking it and it was peeling off. So they spoke to Trudy and her team. Thankfully, they'd heard about PSI brand. And as she mentioned, there was a certain amount of resistance because this is a 150 kg part, I think. 200? Okay. And so they were understandably shaky about using graphics. So what we were able to do was produce a small custom run, and I'm just going to show you a short clip here of how it was used. So we did some operator training just with some small graphics for a start, just to give the guys an idea of how it works. That graphic's about 900 by 200, so it's quite a large graphic. And yeah, so through all the fingers crossed and all that sort of thing, everything came out perfect, which was good to see. The guys were understandably stoked with the result. And yeah, they've got a permanent branding system now in place going forward. So this was featured just at the National Field Days only a weekend or so back. So yeah, it's an exciting project to be involved with. So our next challenge was, how can we copy and paste this globally? Because we were able to help these guys, but that's okay. They were 2 hours down the road, or 2.5 hours in beautiful Fielding. But how can we support someone in Kazakhstan or Iran or wherever we need to help somebody? So what we are approaching on doing is creating what we call like a certified program where you can take your operators through a course online where they can watch some tutorials and then follow a quick answer process of multi-choice questions where it's required to get 100% correct and they become what we call PSI certified. And the benefit in this is, as business owners or managers, you can confidently put your team members through this and know that they have followed the guides and they have answered the questions and they become what we call certified, giving you peace of mind that they know what they're doing. And for us as well, it's a comfort to know that there hasn't been the Chinese whisper, as so-called as we call it, that we get operators training one, they train the other, and stuff changes. And then taking another step further, we want to have it so your operators can video the process and submit it to us for us to judge, and they become PSI approved. And then taking a step further, we want to provide masterclasses where we can come to your plant or you come to ours and we can take your operators through a training process where they come out as what they call, I don't know, PSI ninjas or jiu-jitsu, kung fu PSIs. So yeah, that's kind of where we're heading. If you are interested, please go online. This is something that we're committed to doing. So yeah, as I say, for the benefit of you rotomoulders, can essentially brand with confidence. So, brand with confidence, join the ranks of the confident. Here goes a few extra pictures on Instagram. I encourage you to go on there and check them out for yourself. To be or not to be, in conclusion, brand is for you. It's not going away. It probably couldn't be more important in today's environment. The cost of poor branding is not affordable. If you guys want to be the Rotomoulders or the whatever your brand represents, it must be on there. And add value. Prove you can add value for your client. If you're the person that's going to be telling them, hey, you can do this, hey, you can, what about this? If you want one of these cubes, let me know, because it just shows what you can do for your client. Download an ebook. So we've created an ebook where we've got a range of different applications, and where different products will suit. And hey, our product might not be for you, but just encourage you to download that and just see some examples of where our product may benefit you. And connect with us, of course. So we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also YouTube. There's plenty of videos, Instagram, Zoom us. Please connect with us. We're here to help. We'll tell you the truth. If it's not going to work for you, we will tell you it's not going to work for you. We're not here to make a quick sale. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much again for your time. My contact details are there. Do visit me on the stand. Thank you for your attention.